Today is February the 26th, 2012. It's Sunday. This is actually a request for help. I'm hoping somebody out there will have an answer to this. I've done quite a bit of research on the internet, and I found out that not many or not most, I'm not sure what the condition is, but some of these Mesa Boogie amplifiers seem to have this problem. And that is, they go into some howling fit that can only be stopped by powering it off and a few odds and end things. I've gone over this thing extremely well. It's got a dozen 6L6s in it. I have actually taken all of the tubes out. I've replaced every tube in it, obviously. I even took out all the 12 6L6s and put in 6 6550s. It does the same thing. The only way I can make this amplifier not have this problem that I'm going to show you is to only put 2 tubes in it. If I put even as few as 4, it has the problem. And I'm going to hopefully document this quickly. But here's what it does, and I can make it happen quickly. First, let me show you a couple of things. Here's the plate voltage. 465 volts. Screen voltage on a screen is 461. Blasted glare. The bias voltage is minus 51. Here's what it does. When I've got everything set in the middle, I've got the master up all the way. As I crank up the volume, what happens is at a certain point, watch right here, it's starting to ring. It's starting to ring worse. And then boom, it goes into self-oscillation. It's oscillating at about 300 hertz. When, if we drive this thing with a pure tone, free running, I'm running it at 100 hertz. 98. And there it is. Turn it down. There it is, right there. Actually putting out quite a bit of power. Like that. 5% distortion. Almost 30 volts across 4 ohms. That's 30 squared divided by 4. Very nice there. But what I'm doing up here is I'm taking this 100 hertz signal coming out of here and I'm gating it at 10 hertz from over here. So that like I'm plucking the string of the guitar at 100 hertz. And once I do that, once I press this into gate, into trigger mode, see now I'm thumping the guitar. There it is, it sinks better on this one. And as you thump it harder and harder and harder, when it's going into clipping, I'm overdriving it, I realize that, but that's going to happen. And then it starts to ring, depending on how hard there it goes, starting to ring. Boom, goes into oscillation. Hello, not going to work. Okay, that's when I drive it from either channel 1 or channel 2. Now, if I drive just a power amp, if I go down here to the send and return, it does not happen. Of course, I have to control the gain from up here, but I can hear it. I mean, you can hear this thing bumping. I'm thumping that transformer really hard, but it does not go into ringing. It's not in the output section. Where it is I'm not going to be able to show all of this because I can't work with one hand and run this high voltage. But if you look with an oscilloscope and you start looking back through the circuit, you see it actually all the way back to the beginning. You see it back to the input. What apparently is happening is the output is feeding back somehow because of some design flaw, construction flaw, a repair it's had in the past. I don't know, but this is the way this thing was brought to me, and I can't get a handle on it. Once you start feeding it to the input, like I say, you'll see the signal on every plate and every grid of all the triodes all the way through to the finals. So I'm thinking it's a collapsing of the magnetic field in the output transformer, power supply anomalies. I'm about to give up. I'm just about to give this one back and say I can't fix it. I'm just about at that point. So you got any thoughts? Have you seen any blogs or threads on what makes these things go bad? Besides guessing at the tubes, because it's not the tubes. I've made a bunch of videos of this. I just haven't published them because I haven't gotten anywhere with it. Like I say, I've even swapped them out to 6550s. Let me see if I can lay this thing down with one hand. There it is. Yeah, what I did is I pulled out all the 6L6s and I put 6550s in here, here, and here. All these tubes are parallel and all these are parallel, so it doesn't really matter. You got them on each side. And it did exactly the same thing as it's doing now. Any help would be appreciated.